Okay.
Hi, I just wanted to make a part 2 to the video I made the other day about bearded dragon conformation. First of all, I hope the video didn't come across like I was judging your pet Spike, who might have a crinkled tail or a droopy eye. These things happen, and they happen frequently. Every breeder produces these. Even anybody, if people say they don't, they do. They're producing them. It just happens. And so I am not wanting to come across as judgmental or looking down on your pet. We love Shih Tzus as a breed, and my wife, her favorite dog was this Shih Tzu that had googly eyes and a goofy looking dog and did not by any means fit the standard of a Shih Tzu. Never would have been a breeding Shih Tzu, but I mean, he was her favorite dog, absolutely loved him. So I'm not coming from that position at all. More so, I was coming from a place talking to other breeders, people just starting out who want to breed, or just anybody who was interested in me, in learning about how we choose what is going to be breeding. So I just wanted to dive a little bit deeper into it, and I just wanted to say that it's never a guarantee I can make that a dragon will be a breeder at some point. And no breeder out there should be giving you that guarantee. I have never been given that guarantee that I can think of by any breeder. So if anybody out there is telling you that, they're lying to you. So it goes beyond conformation and structure. I'm not going to be able to ever guarantee the color of your dragon. I'm not going to be able to say this is going to be the most yellow dragon on the planet, or the most red dragon on the planet, or the biggest dragon on the planet. I won't be able to guarantee if it's going to be a breeder, or if it's going to be an amazing eater as it gets older, or anything like that. There's only so much you can know about how an animal's going to turn out, because it's an animal. And they're all different, and they're very unpredictable in that way. Other things that I can't guarantee would be a dragon's size. I can't guarantee that a dragon will ever reach breeding size. This is something that really takes a year and a half to even 2.5 years long for a bearded dragon to get fully grown. They take a while. They aren't supposed to be fully grown at 10, 11, even a year of age. Lots of people out there are absolutely power feeding their animals, getting them as big as they can, as fast as they can, and I really do not think that's a healthy way for an animal to grow. You really have to take it back to the wild. A bearded dragon is not going to go eat 100 bugs in a day. They're going to catch a few here and there, and that's going to be their day, you know? Anyways, off on a tangent. So another guarantee I can't make is the fertility of the actual dragon. A male and female could be infertile for whatever reason, and you could grow a male up, and he is an awesome male. He is exactly what you have dreamed about for your projects, and you pair him to that first female, and then she gives you duds. And she does not produce a fertile clutch, even though you witnessed a good lock. And then you might try him again, just to make sure nothing weird happened, and then the second female, she could also give you duds. And so when you do that, it takes those females out for the rest of the year, and it makes it very hard, because that's a lot of potential earned income lost, and now you've invested not only in the original dragon you purchased for your project, but any future offspring that he could have had. You can't rely on any of that. So as a breeder, or a potential breeder, somebody looking to get into the hobby, it's very important to know that dragons you buy from someone else, or dragons you produce on your own, may not become breeders. I could go on about other things, but I think the last thing that I really want to say in regards to this is I also am, it's completely out of my control how the dragon is kept once it leaves my care. And so husbandry plays a lot into a dragon's health, and these certain things like kinks, crinkle toes, they can happen due to lack of UV lighting, not being properly supplemented. So that also plays into why a dragon could have a flaw like that. A droopy eye could be simply because the dragon is dehydrated, and so you would want to do what you can to hydrate the dragon. Give it a bath, make sure it's eating those greens, and load whatever bug you're feeding it up with something very hydrating. Make sure the bug has access to water or vegetables that are, you can really hydrate your bugs so that passes to the dragon. So another note is that a dragon that is labeled a holdback is not necessarily going to be a breeder. These are the dragons that look great. They have a very solid build conformation. Their structure is very nice. They have their color and morph is exactly what we're going for with a particular project. It's basically a dragon that we would consider perfect right now, but you just, again, I can't even guarantee to myself that is going to be a breeder. It's called a holdback. It's not called a breeder or a future. Some people call him a future breeder. I call him a holdback. I don't know if it's going to be a breeder yet. I can't make that determination until the animal gets older. So a good question is, why am I looking for these flaws, and why should you do what you can do to not reproduce them? And so what I have to start this by saying I'm not a vet. I have no knowledge of the medical, what goes on actually inside the dragon that creates these flaws. What I do know is that in babies, usually your failure to thrive, or the babies that don't live longer than a week or two, they usually will have a kink, or they could have droopy eyes. And so usually that is why we try not to, or that's why we don't use breeders who have those flaws. So qualities like the peak spine, the head shape maybe being a bit too narrow, and the squatty bodies, the ones that seem a little bit more short in the body area, these are all more of a cosmetic defect, something that I really don't like the look of. If you have a dragon that's absolutely perfect for the project you're going for, but it has a minor flaw like a peak spine or a squatty body, am I telling you not to breed it? Not necessarily. What I would do is I would pair that dragon to one or two females and that are an exact opposite of what you don't like. So if it has a peak spine, breed it to a few females who do not have a peak spine. They have a perfect spine. If you're breeding a squatty body male or something with a little shorter of a body, breed it to a female who's nice and lengthy to kind of balance that out. And so the name of the game here is to really improve on the animals you're working with. So in that female, you'd be improving, let's say the male was a really nice tiger and the female is not. You'd be improving the tiger project in her, and you would be improving the spine in him. And so you can breed him to, if you would normally breed a dragon to several females, just do one and see how those babies turn out. They might balance each other out perfectly, and they might not. Which actually brings me back to another point. If you are having offspring with crinkle toes and crinkle toes or droopy eyes, then what you can do, what I typically see it in dragons that are from a yellow to a yellow or a red to a red, and what I believe is happening there is it could be possible that they're a little too closely related, and that's why you're kind of seeing some of those flaws, in the babies. So what you would do is take a step back with the adults that you used, and I know you want to breed them for that yellow, but it's at this time they're telling you that they really need to be outcrossed. So it would be a good idea to maybe pair that yellow to a red or to a hybrid or something very different, maybe something that doesn't have very many genetics. So you can really strengthen the offspring from that cross. So lastly, if the dragon has a bite, a nip, an injury that hasn't quite healed right, it is a little like there's a kink there, but it was from an injury, I would not relate this to breeding at all or consider it a defect that would pass. These are purely cosmetic defects and should not, I mean, obviously would not pass to the offspring at all. It's something that happened to that animal and is in no way related to breeding. So I hope that cleared some things up from the video of conformation part 1. Just as a final note, I believe that a lot of these flaws are a result of not being able to incorporate wild-caught bearded dragons from Australia into the gene pool that we have here to strengthen the animals that we have, which is exactly what the snake and gecko breeders do. This is why some breeders are using hybrids.